I don't know where to begin. Where should I begin?
I remember, my parents worked hard throughout their life.
My grandmother. What makes her so remarkable? It's a thousand things every day. She's a feminist. She's a vegan. She's a feminist. She's magic, but she wouldn't ever identify as these things.
To raise 5 children, to help other siblings come here from Europe. They sacrificed a lot to work hard and to save money and to give us a decent life.
Her lifestyle, I mean, who can say that their grandmother was a shepherd? I think that's one of my favorite things about my grandmother.
My mom was responsible for bringing a lot of relatives over to Canada, to Toronto actually. She had siblings. She had her sister, 2 sisters actually, Stavrula. She had her other sister, Dimitra. She had her younger brother, Nick. Nieces and nephews she brought over. She brought a few other people that, we don't even remember all the names to. And there's some people that stayed with her that were not necessarily brought over by her, but that they stayed in her house and were part of her family.
If anybody was in trouble or if anybody needed a head start, that's what she wanted to give them, and asked for basically nothing in return, which wasn't the treatment that she got when she came to Canada. So what she didn't get, she gave to others.
I was looking for my parents. I couldn't find where it was. The park was full at the beaches. I must have passed them and I walked even further down. There was a police officer with one of those elephants on the van. So I waited there by the police officer inside the van. And, who do we see coming? My mother. I was happy then. I seen my mother coming to find me. And she was so happy, as if tears were coming out of her eyes. And the sacrifice my mother made, looking for me that day, bringing us to the beach. She was a hard worker. And the one day off, she wanted to spend with her kids.
Okay, so secretly, my favorite thing about Yaya is that she was a shepherd. And she still remembers the names of her sheep, and it's my favorite thing to do. Yaya, come here. Elado. No, you gotta come. Okay, what are the... Pes mu ta onoma ta sheep's puiches.
Oh, come on!
Come on.
Now. I bella che I fruscia che
Shana.
Ivona che I Shana.
But one of the stories that sits with me the most is the story of the birth of her first child, which is my father. As the story goes, she was waitressing and she realized that her water broke, and instead of calling a cab to take her to the hospital, she wanted to save herself that money. Why didn't you take the taxi?
Why, this is not the far?
Your water broke.
So?
She's so tough and so strong that I can imagine her, even in those younger years, not cutting herself any slack.
I walk there 3-4 blocks to go north to the Sherburne Street to go to Wesley Hospital. Walk.
Probably the sacrifice that she made. To this day, I think all of those people that came through this house and lived with us, they carry a little bit of that spirit in themselves with their own households and with their own families.
There's nothing superfluous about my grandmother. She's extremely resourceful, extremely smart, and doesn't waste her time or energy on fluff.